In this video, I'm just going to do a couple example solves using the beginner's method that we talked about in the last video. We got to make our white cross first. So we see greens here, we see red is down here, orange is here. So we've got green in position and red's opposite. So we can turn this up here and that'll put this here. But we also have orange here. So I would turn this up and put this over orange, so that way when I turn orange up, they're opposite, which is how I want them to be. So then I can turn this over and then put them both in position. And now we just need the blue, which is here. And we know because white's on the front instead of the top, we have to do a 2 move. So down, over, and then put our orange piece back. And now our cross is done. And we move on to F2L. So we've got blue and orange are in the top layer, both pieces already. So we'll turn this so that way it's in position. So the white is facing us and it's just past the corner it needs to go in, and we know that they need to be side by side because they're the same color. So turn it down and put it back. Now they're matched, and put that together. Red and blue looks like it's already solved. So we know red and blue needs to go here. So I can just move this over and solve it in the back without having to rotate the cube. Now we've got orange and green. We want them in the top layer, so we'll move that over so that way they're separated. And now we've got white facing up, which means we need to move this to the face that it's at in the front, so match this. Turn it away from the color on top, so not towards green, we'll turn it towards blue and move this piece over. And now they're paired. Turn it away, turn this up, put it down, and that's solved. So next is red and green, so we'll put the edge piece in the top because this is already in the top. Make sure they're in position, which they're not. We want this to be down here. Remember, it needs to be like this in this row. So same color would be here, opposites here. It's opposite, so it's gonna go here. Turn it down so we don't disrupt it, and then put it back. Now they're in position. Turn it over, and now we can turn it to pair it. Solved. Now the yellow cross. So we've got this little square down here. So remember, we want this little right angle to be facing the bottom right. Move 2, then do right algorithm 1 time. Put the 2 pieces back, you've got your yellow cross. Now we need to orient our edge pieces. So are any of them in position? Only one. So what we'll do is turn this up. I'm gonna move this one to the right. Doesn't necessarily matter, but we're gonna do this algorithm. So turn this up, move it over, and put it back. Then turn this over 1 more time, turn it up, go back twice so the white's back, and then solve. Then check and see if they're lined up. They're not, so we'll do it again. And they're lined up now. So green, orange, blue, red. Next we need to do the corners. So are any corners in the right spot? We've got red and green. So red and green. So because this is in the right spot, we're gonna keep it in the bottom right. And then we're just gonna do this algorithm. And check and see. All the corners are now in the right spot. Doesn't mean that they have to be solved, but they're in the right spot. Now turn the cube upside down, pick a face and stay on it. We're on red, so we'll stay on red. Right algorithm now until these are all solved. Solved, so now we turn this side over and repeat. Remember, only turn the bottom, don't turn the whole cube. And now we are done. So we want to make our white cross. So we've got the orange, we've got the green, blue, and red. So let's see, so we'll move the orange over the orange, which we know is here because it's opposite red, right? We can put green up here if we want to. We can put the orange down. We've got red here. Make sure if you rotate 2, you put your orange back. We've got green, we've got red, and then we've got blue, which is down here. So because this is facing like this, I'm just gonna bring it up to the top and then put it down. The next is F2L. So it looks like we already have a pair solved here, which is great. So I'm just gonna move this over to where it needs to be, which would be here. Turn this up, put it down. We've got red and green, so maybe we can move this to the top layer. So now they're here. And we know that if white is facing up, we need to line this up with green, which it already is, and turn it away from the top color. So I'm going to turn it towards orange and move it over. And now that's in position. So move that away from here so I can turn it up and replace those two squares here. These two are right here. So if they're together, if you look at, I have another video where I show you how to quickly pair these if they're together. But for now, just separate them. So just something like that, just to get them apart, because we're not worried about that yet. We're just learning the three basic ones. So these colors are the same. So we'll put it, we want it to go over this corner, right? So we're gonna put it here and we'll turn it down so we can rotate this without messing it up. And we want this to be next to it when we turn it up, right? So now it's solved. So now when we turn it away, turn this up and just put it in there. And now the last one is here. So this is the orange and green and orange and green. So same thing, we want them in the top layer, but we don't want them together yet. That'll come later. So we'll just do that. So now they're both in the top layer. We'll move this here so white is facing, and this is where it wants to go. And now we know if we turn this down, we turn this over, now they're matched. Now we can turn it away, put it in. We want to make the yellow cross. We've got this here, so we'll do 2. And now we've got our yellow cross. And now we'll see if any edges are lined up. Just this one, so because this is solved, I'll put it on the right. And then I will do the algorithm. And then we'll see if that worked. So now we've got green and blue. So what we'll do is turn this. And now they're solved. Sometimes you have to repeat it multiple times. It's not a big deal. So we've got all the edge pieces solved. Now we need to solve the corner pieces. Are any in the right spot? This one is, so we'll put this one on the bottom right. And we'll do the algorithm from before. It looks like they're all in the right position. Turn it upside down, and then we'll stay on blue face. Right algorithm until it's in position. Rotate the bottom. And then the cube is solved. Okay, another example solve. We'll find our white cross. So we've got green and blue right here. So just to save time, if we put these up top right away, we know that green and blue are opposite. We don't want them side by side. So we can just turn green over here. So we put this up, they're opposite, and then we can put them in position. And we know that green is opposite blue. So we could just turn these down and have them in position. We also see our orange right here. So we're just going to turn that up because we might as well. We also have red right here, which means red was solved on the bottom. So what we'll do is we'll turn this up. We'll rotate this over and we'll turn this up too. So this is what the daisy position looks like. So if it's easy for you to do that, just to remember how to solve it to then rotate them all, that's fine. So now we have our white cross. The next step is F2L. So let's do the red and blue corner. The edge piece is here, so we want them in the top layer. If you want to learn how to do more advanced pairings, like putting them together and pairing them from this position or pairing them from this position, watch my other video because I go into depth about that. But for now, to keep things simple, we're just gonna stick with the plan to put all edge pieces in the top layer separated. So now they're here. So you want this to go here between red and blue. So we'll put this over here just to help us orient. Remember, it needs to be in this row. If it's the same color on top, it goes here. If it's opposite, it goes down here. This is the same, so we want it right here. So we just need to put this out of the way so we don't move it, and then put it back, and now they're paired. And now you can just turn this away past the two you want it to go in, so you can replace them like that. The next one we'll do is orange and blue. So again, these are here. There are ways you can pair it from this position, which I talk about in the other video, but we're just gonna put this in the top layer. So turn it away, make sure you always reset your cross. So now we've got these here and they are the same color, right? So same thing, we'll move it over here. We'll turn it down and we'll turn it over so that way they match. Put this down, turn it up, put it in. Orange and green. So put this up in the top layer. So they're the same colors again. So just put them next to each other. And that's solved. And then we've got red and green and they're side by side. So maybe we'll do this. or no, we'll do this. We don't want to do this because this is solved already. So when you're doing F2L, you want to make sure you don't mess up your already solved slots, right? So these are already solved. So instead of turning it like this and rotating it and losing this, I'm just going to turn this up, and then I will rotate it like this, so that way I don't mess up anything. So now white's facing up, so we'll rotate this so front colors match and turn it away from the top color, which means we're turning it towards blue, not towards green. And then we put this over it, and now they are paired. And then we will solve it. And now we're done with the first two layers, and now we've got the horizontal line, so we only need to move this forward one time, do the right algorithm once, put it back. There's our cross. Check our edges. These two are solved, these two are not, so we'll put these to the right in the back, and then we will do the algorithm. Move it over one more time, line up the white again, turn it down, and then we'll rotate it and check and see. So all four edge pieces are in their corrective corresponding spot, in the correct spot. So then we've got the corner pieces. So now we've got none of them, well, this one's in the right spot, so we'll put this one on the bottom right, do the algorithm, turn it away, turn this up, turn it away, turn this up, put it back, put it down, put it back, put it down, and look and see. So it looks like they're all solved. Turn it upside down, we're on the red face, so then we'll just do right algorithm until the yellow in that corner right here is facing down. Always make sure you do that last part. I know it's easy to just put this down and be like, it's there, I can just keep going, but no, you have to solve the full algorithm. Then move this over until you get to another one that's unsolved, and then just repeat that right algorithm. Turn, and solved. Okay, so again, white cross. So let's see, we've got red is already in position, green is here, orange is here, blue is here. So we know that we can't just flip this upside down because it's white front facing instead of top facing. So we know we can go down once and then over if we want to put it on the other one. So what we'll do is put this over to the side so we can just turn it down and then down, and that's how we get to that position. Blue is right here, so we know blue is already solved, and green is right here, so, and it's to the side, so we know we can just turn it down, down, and then put our orange cross piece back, and there's the white cross. Now we need to do F2L. We already have an F2L pair right here, so that needs to go here, so that's easily done. And then we have orange and green, and orange and green, and this is white facing up, which means we need to line this up with the green face, turn it away from the orange face because that's on top, put this piece over it, and now they're paired. Turn it away, put it down. Red and green are down here, so what we'll do is put them both in the top, and we'll separate them however we feel like separating them. And now it's the same color, and it's already in position right here, right? Because this is where it needs to go. You could also just put this down and move this over, but just be mindful of not messing up the piece you already have solved. So you put this here and you turn it, you're not going to mess anything up. And there it is. Now we move it away from where we want it to go so we can turn that side up and just put it in. Now we have orange and blue, it's right there. So move it away so they're separate. Put it back over so we can still see the white face. This is the corner that we want it to go in. We want them side by side, right? It's here and here because it's the same color on the top, so we want this piece to move up here. So turn this down, put it back, there they are. Move this over, turn it up, and we've solved the first two layers. So now we need to solve the cross. So we see this little shape here, so we make that in the bottom right corner and use the 2 rows in the front, right algorithm one time, put this back up. Now we see we've got the cross, so now we see if our edge pieces are lined up, which they're not. So we will do this algorithm and move this pair over and then turn it up and then put it back so the white lines up, and then we'll see they're all in position. Now we'll do our corner pieces. So are any corner pieces in position? No. So we'll just do this. And we've got this one. So we'll put this in the bottom right and we'll just repeat it. So turn the top side over, right layer goes up, put it back, up, put it back, down, put it back, down, and the cube is solved. Okay, so white cross. So we've got orange and red here, and they're already opposite. So even though they're in the wrong spots, opposite is helpful because we can just do this, and now we know red and orange are opposite, so we can just do this, and we know that they're in the right spot. So now we've got green here, and we've got blue here. So we can turn the blue up, and put it over the blue and move it, make sure you put that back down, put blue in its position, and then green is here. We can just turn it down twice, right? And put red back, and then we have the white cross. Now for F2L, so we've got these two already in the top layer, so we might as well do those first, and they're opposite. This one is already in the position we want it to, right? Which is where the corner is, but moved away once just so we can line it up. Again, you can just have this here and line it up this way, and just put this piece here if you want to while this is over, but it can be easier to not disrupt solved squares if you do it in this position. So turn it down, turn it here so they're in the right position, move it over, and then turn it so they're matched, and your white cross is already here, so when you turn it, it's going to be solved. Now you've got red and blue, and they're together, so I move that so I don't disrupt this solved set here. So just going to separate these two. So now they're separated, and I moved it here so it's white facing, but it's away from the side it needs to be in. They want to be side by side, right? So turn this down. Now they're paired. Move it over, put it in. We've got orange and blue right there, so we're just going to solve that right now. And then we've got green and red, and green and red. So we don't want them together yet, but we'll do this. Now white's facing up, so we want to line this up with the front face, which is green. Turn it away from the top, which is red, so turn it to orange, and then line up your corner piece so now they match. Turn it away, and then you've solved the first two layers. Now we've got a horizontal line, so you only have to move the front face down one time. Do your algorithm, put it back up. So now we've got our cross, so now we've got to see if our edge pieces are lined up. We've got blue and red in the right spot, orange and green not. So move the solve to the right and back, and then we'll do this algorithm. And then check, looks like they're all lined up. So now we just need to line up our corners. So these two are in position and these two are in position, so they're already lined up. And these two are already solved. So we'll flip it upside down, and then we'll stay on the red face and just do right algorithm again until this is solved. And then just rotate the bottom, not the rest of the cube, and repeat. And then we're solved.